Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. For this episode, we are going to talk to my dear friend Yuka, who is from Osaka, Japan. And today we have picked up another interesting topic of ERP security. So, before we dwell into this topic, I want to just clarify that this podcast is again personally driven by us. So, we are not representing any vendor, any of your employers. So any views that we give is not theirs. So we try to be unbiased. And if in the process we are making any mistakes, we are always happy to learn. So you can send us your feedback uh, and things that you would want us to improve, and we will work on it. So on that note, I will just work with Yuka and talk about ERP security. So Yuka, can you just give audience a brief background of your ERP experience and ERP security experience, and what is it? Also explain in brief what this overall term means.
Okay, yes. So, hello everyone. My name is Jukka. I'm originally from Finland, but I've been living around 25 years in Japan now.
Uh,
And my IT background, basically, I started programming when I was about 10 years old because I wanted to be a hacker. And that's pretty much how it's been going since then. And professionally, I have about 20 years of working experience. Started as a programmer working in PHP, C++, Java, and a few other languages. Also developing web-facing systems, so security was part of it from the start.
Yep.
And after a couple of years of programming, I moved to business software, which includes ERP or is mostly about ERP. And I've been doing that for about 18 years now. First, as sort of a technical administrator, taking care of databases, performance, technical issues, and security, of course. And for the last couple of years, I've been working full-time security.
Okay, so that gives a complete 360-degree coverage. You started from security, you did enterprise softwares, ERP, and then again coming back to your home, that is security. That's always good to know. So, what makes ERP security important and also unique to other enterprise security that we security architects try to secure?
Okay, so basically, ERP, the word means enterprise resource planning, and it's kind of a common term. It's not a vendor specific. And what it does basically is runs pretty much everything in a company. So most importantly, it does the financial calculations. So it has all the financial data of a company. And it might also run the HR, so it has all the private information of all the employees. And it might contain manufacturing data like bill of materials, all the details how products are being made. So it basically contains in one place all the most important data what the company has. So it's very important.
Oh,
And how the security is unique? Well, normally when people think about security, the image is that you have a website and somebody from outside is trying to break it or
yep,
deface it.
yep.
So it's kind of like protecting against attacks from outside. But in case of ERP, especially traditionally, it's very deep inside the company network.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the days when I started, they typically didn't even have any web interface.
Yep.
You could only access it with a special client software, and there was no interaction with the outside world. So basically, in that situation, you're not so much concerned about the external attacks, but the real problem is insiders who might, for example, try to steal data. So the perspective changes. So the external security is handled by firewalls and or network level applications, but you need to be very concerned that you have all the separation of duties, the least amount of privileges, all those things set up properly. And also you need to monitor outgoing traffic very
Yep.
carefully so
Yep.
that the it's not possible to send data out.
Yep. And
Of
when you
course, that is, yes, yes,
And
go
when
ahead.
you say insider, it is not limited to employees. So just wanted to clarify, it's not just limited to employees because now the ERP systems are so complex that you tend integrations with outside partners. There would be cloud connectivity as well. There would be connectivity to other business partners, technology partners. You will be having employees or contractors from them accessing your ERP. So basically, what you said in the first instance that the criticality of the data and its entire CIA triad towards ERP is as important as it was ever, and at the same time, there is added complexity of uh, these additional integrations that have come in. Am I right in that understanding?
Yes, yes, exactly. Like I said earlier, back in the days when I started, ERP systems typically didn't have any kind of a web interface. But nowadays, the situation has changed completely. They need to and they will interact with the outside users, outside other software, and so on. And it
Mhm,
and usually they have things like web servers built in. So it's technically possible
mhm,
to have ERP system exposed directly to
mhm,
the internet. But of course, from security perspective, that's very bad idea. And
yep.
where it gets really complicated is that the with ERP systems these days, you have a mix of very old technology
Yes.
and very new technology. So
Yep.
there might be a front end which runs the latest HTML5, is fully compatible with the mobile devices and so
Yep.
on. And at the same time, there might be some legacy API running, like
Mhm,
application programming interface, that
mhm.
was originally intended to be completely inside the system and
Yes.
only used between components within the same system. And by design, doesn't have any authentication.
Wow.
At
Wow.
least with a couple of the biggest ERP vendors, that's very much a real life problem. They have that kind of an API. And if you accidentally happen to expose that
Mhm.
to the internet because
Wow.
you just forgot that it even exists, you might run into big problems. I
Ah.
mean, basically,
Okay.
you don't even need to hack that kind of an interface
Mhm.
because there isn't any security. It doesn't ask for password or username. You just make an API call and start,
Wow.
for example, moving files around.
Wow, that's an industry expert talking about the practical. These all are not covered in any textbooks or any courses. This all comes from your practical experience. So thanks for sharing this wonderful anecdote. So Yuka,
Yes.
you have worked with so many enterprises and helped them secure ERPs for them. What would be your kind of a framework or your go-to way of securing these?
Well, the key thing basically is you need to understand the application itself.
Hmm.
So with the certain ERP vendor, which I'm most familiar with, I have like 18 years experience. So I know how it used to work. I know the legacy technologies it has, and I'm familiar with the new technologies as well. But basically, if you are securing an ERP system that you don't know very well, you just need to learn all the
Okay.
details.
Yep.
For the like for example, for legacy APIs and so on, you can start off by analyzing what services are running, which ports are open, and you will find like hundreds of ports. And you just need to go through like what exactly does this port do? What is
Yep.
it used for?
Yep.
So vendor documentation and that kind of things are of course very helpful in that.
So what you say is first build a strong foundation of security concepts and how you cater to it, and then based on ERP implementations, which is very different for different organizations, you have to then uh, tailor make, or you have to use that kind of experience that you have in security to provide a bespoke solution for each of these clients on their customized environment, right? So
Yes, yes.
yeah, perfect. So so based on that, I'm just coming to our last question, like which I ask with all the panelists and the industry veterans that have participated in this podcast. The In this podcast, a lot of new security enthusiasts are watching. So what would be your advice for them, like how they can develop the skills in that regard to become a good ERP security specialist like you are?
So as far as I know, any major ERP vendor has lots of vendor-specific courses, and usually people start off by first going to a basic courses, learning how this ERP software works, and learning all the functions for their own job. And they also have security-specific courses and certifications. So that's a good starting point.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Yuka. I think it's a very vast topic. So it's very, like, I'm sure you can speak about it for hours and hours together. But as the podcast name is 10 Minutes of Wisdom, so I can understand how difficult it was to get all the relevant points in those 10 minutes. So I think we did a, I hope we did a good job and the audience liked it. So thanks a lot, Yuka. Thanks for coming and giving us your time. Until next time.
Thank you. Thank you.